Hi, and welcome to the first video in this series for the sales engineer. On my right here, I have a concept drawing and a concept 3D model made by the concept engineer. The first step that the sales engineer needs to do is make a bill of materials so that we can actually produce these things and see the cost required. And that way we can also give it to the quality assurance engineer so they can start building a prototype of this model. To go ahead and get started, we're going to use Google Sheets. So go to Google Sheets by typing in the search bar, click on the Go to Google Sheets button, and make a new Google Sheet. So the first thing we have to do is establish what each section of the Google Sheets is going to do for us. The first thing we're going to have is an item image. Then we're going to have an item name. Then we're going to have the quantity, or the number of items we need. Then we're going to have the price. And then we're going to have what we're calling the total. The difference between the price and the total is that the price is the price per item, and the total is the total cost. In order to make this easier, we're going to use formulas. So to do that, you simply click the equal sign, you click on the quantity, and then you make this little star, which is the number, it's the shift and 8 button. Then click the second price so that you have the total. Right now it's 0 because there's nothing in these boxes, but if I had something for $2 and I was buying 4 of them, you would see that it cost $8. Click the little blue box in the corner here where it makes this little plus sign, and you're going to drag it all the way down. We'll edit this later as we add our items. Okay, so now that we're done with the setup, I'm going to go ahead and name this bill of materials. Bill of materials. Now we're going to go ahead and start actually making a list of things we need. So the first thing we have to do is look at the concept sketch and the 3D model that we have and decide what we're going to make this from. In my case, I'm going to go all out and make it from wood. So I'll need to make it out of some simple 2x4s. They're the most basic wood you will use in construction. So I need to go ahead and find how much a 2x4 costs by going to Home Depot and just typing in 2x4 inches. And I can see they have a whole section for it in dimensional lumber. Now, if this isn't for you, or you think you could do better without Home Depot, somewhere like Lowe's, or a place you can get a good price, you can use that too. But at $5, this is pretty pricey, but it's the best I have for now. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this image. I'm going to paste it into the image, make sure it fits into the cell, put it into selected cell, and then I will probably have to change the size of this cell to accommodate for this image because it's too small. So I'll just drag this down about 4, maybe one more. And then I'll make this probably a little bigger, about 1.5 times as big. Maybe a little smaller. You can play with it to find the right size. Item name. This is a 2x4. Quantity. Now the tough part. So I need to see how much is sold at Home Depot. Right now it says it's 96 inches in length. So I need enough wood so that if I bought 96-inch segments, I could make this. Thankfully, my concept engineer has given me some basic measurements to start with, so I can use those. It looks like it's going to take 72 inches on the top, and the bottom is a little hard to see. Let me see if I make it a little bigger and get a better look at this drawing. The bottom is 36. So in total, there's 108 inches per section on the leg, and then there's going to be a lever in the middle. The lever in the middle looks pretty long, so I'd guess it's probably about 4 feet, so 48 inches. So I need a 72, I need a 36, and I need that on each side, and then I need the parts in between, obviously, which is 12 inches for this, and then minus the width of these, which is 1.5. So you can see, I'm figuring this out in my head and calculating this. This is the same kind of step you would do when solving for it. So let me just go ahead and start writing this down on a second piece of paper. So I need 72 inches. I need that twice. And then I know that I need 36 inches, and I need that twice. And then I know I need 12 inches, because that's this board that's in the middle between the two. And I know that that is only true, it's not exactly 12 inches. The difference I need in order to put in the little middle segments is 12 inches minus the width of 2 of those parts. So if those are turned sideways, that's 1.5 on each side is 3, so they're both 9 inches. So I need 2 9-inch boards. So I need 2 9-inch boards, one for the top and bottom. I need 2 72-inch boards, one for the left and right. And I need a 36-inch board on bottom for both sides. Looks like the 36 inches are actually going into the part. My concept engineer is drawing them a little differently on both sides. I'm going to assume they want a 36-inch board just in case. That way I'll have a little extra lumber to work with. And I'll probably need one 4-inch, which is 48 inches for my board. And I need one of those. Okay, so here's where Excel can help you when you're making your bill of materials. I've calculated all the wood I need for the 2x4. I know that it equals whatever this is times this. And I know that I have to do that for all of them, so I can just click and drag it to copy it down. And I know that I need to add all these up. So I can use this formula sum, and it will add up all these numbers. I need 282 inches in total. So I can just go ahead and click on equals this number, and then divide it by the size of the boards, which if we look here is 96 inches. And that will tell me how many boards I need. I need 2.9 boards. This is actually a lot cheaper than I thought. It looks like I only need 3 boards. So 3 boards, each one is $4.95. So far, $14. Pretty easy. Okay, next I'm going to need some screws. Go ahead and search up some wood screws, see what they cost. Looks like getting a bunch of them could be pretty expensive, so I need to look for a slightly cheaper one. 100 pack. Definitely don't need 100 screws. Probably need less. Can I get away with less? Not quite. They're all in the hundreds. That's fine. We'll buy this $8 one for now. And then we can save the rest to make multiples later if we need to. I'm going to get a picture of the box so that way I would know what it was if I needed to go to the store and buy it. So I'll copy this. There we go. Nope. Let me copy. I'll copy this using my snipping tool. Snip. Copy. Paste it in here. Make sure I put it into the cell. Probably have to make the cell a little bigger. That's better. Item name. Wood screws. Quantity 1, because I only want 1 pack. It sells at $8.97. So, need it at 8.97. That takes care of that. So now I have to look hard at my concept engineering sketch and see how I'm going to actually connect these parts together. I can screw most of these things together, and I can see that my concept engineer has even drawn those lines in. If you see the lines on top, you can see how they have those little X's on the other side. That indicates that there's a screw. So there's 2 at the top, 2 in the middle. Going to be 2 on the bottom, obviously, in order to connect those bottom parts. And I think that's it. So I actually may not need anything else to go with this except for the 2x4s or the wood screws. And then I'm going to need to buy the rest of the things as I go. Probably some dowels. So I'll definitely need a dowel for the middle and a dowel for the side. I know from the concept engineer they're a 1/2 inch in diameter, so let's do that. So I need a dowel. Search dowel. Let's see what I get. So some of these dowels are pretty good, but they're not quite long enough because they're only 48 inches. I want one that's a little longer. I wonder if I can find one. Here we go. Here's one that's 96 inches. That's not going to cut it though, because this one is 1 inch by 1 inch. I want one that's a 1/2 inch. So what I want is this. I want a 0.5 inch dowel, and I got to make sure it's the right size too. They only seem to come in 48 inches, which might make this more difficult than I thought. It's possible I could use a metal dowel instead. That's called a rebar. That might be longer. Rebar, 1/2 inch, and I want it to cover the whole thing, so it needs to be at least 72 inches long. Let's see what I get. This one's 6 feet. That's too small. 72 inches is... Oh, 72 inches is 6 feet. Could I get away with 6 feet? I probably can get away with 6 feet. Let's see if there's one longer. I probably want one that's like 7 feet, though. Oh, 10 feet. This is the closest I'm going to get. This is a few feet longer than I want, but it is going to go in the bottom. So let's use this one for now. So same as before, I'll look at it. I'll get a snip so I know that it's the right thing. That way I can find it when I look for it. I'll paste it in. Put it into the cell. Make it so it's easier to see. This is a rebar pole. This is going to be in the middle. This one cost me $4.38. There it is. So $4.38. Okay, so I have the 2x4, I have the screws, I have the pole. We're assuming I have the tools in the form of a drill and a saw, which I'll use to cut these to length. If you don't have a saw, you can actually bring the 2x4s to the back of the store in Home Depot and tell them what to cut it to, and they will actually cut it all for you if you need it to. I need one more dowel for the lever that's on this side. So that dowel is also a 1/2 inch. I think the other dowels will work for that we were seeing. So I'll go back to the 5 inch, or the 1/2 inch, sorry, the 1/2 inch dowels. I'll take any half-inch dowel that's pretty short, so 36 inches is about right because it's got a 12-inch gap to span, so I just got to shorten it down. 36 inches. These are a little pricey. I think it might be better if I just pick one of these ones. This is almost a half-inch. Where's my half-inch dowels? I swear they had a bunch of these. 2 inches by 2 inches, 5/8 by 5/8, 1 inch by 1 inch, 1 1/4. You'd think they make this easier to find. 7/16 is pretty good. That's 1/16 less, and it's only $1, so that's what I'm going to go with. So I'll get my snip, make a copy of this. Oh, need a better snip so it doesn't look like a square. Paste this into my bill of materials. Put in so, move it down, name it. So I'm going to call this my 7/16 of an inch dowel. I need just one of them. They're priced at $1.65, so I'm not losing anything by testing it out. And that takes care of most of it. I think that's everything I actually need to start this. The only parts remaining are the bell and then the actual striker. I think for the striker, the collar that hits the bell, I'm going to actually make this out of plastic using the 3D printer. But I will need a bell. We can go to Amazon and get a bell. We definitely want a bell that can be hit or rung. So let's see what they got. Bell. All right, after some time searching through bells, there's a lot of high security alarm bells you can buy, but I'm going to go with something pretty straightforward and simple. So I'm going to get this one for now, which is a 6-inch ringing bell. Basically, it comes packed with an electric switch. I'm not going to use the electric switch. Instead, I'm just going to straight up use the bell part. And for $6, or for $12, I get this outer bell. And then when they hit the outer bell, that will count as the ringer for my game. So I'm going to go ahead and snip that, so I know what it looks like. Put it into selected cell. Move the cell down a few bits so it's easier to see. And then the actual bell, one of them. Total cost is $12. Well, $11.95. And we're good. Okay, so now that I have all the items I want to buy, I have to sum them up. So I'll delete this, equals sum. Add these up. And we can see that in total to make my high striker, it costs $41.50 using this setup. Now, I used a different setup when I was actually building it, so it ended up costing me more. But that's part of being a sales engineer. You look for deals, you look for ways you can work on your bill of materials, make it as accurate as possible, and you try and find ways to minimize labor. I think the other way I did it, I ended up spending something like $57 because I bought some strong ties to make it easier to tie. But these are the steps you would take in really deciding what to buy and how to buy it. And if we were in school, I would take this bill of materials from you, and I would go out and buy these things. So if you want me to buy stuff for your projects, making them cheaper is usually better. Anyway, go ahead and give it a try for yourself now. Look over the concept sketches or brainstorming you guys did as a group, or if you're on your own, about the things you thought of on your own, and make a bill of materials on the stuff you would buy. Good luck!